Peeps. Woo! What's up, everybody? I'm back. No gaming today. I'm tired. Listen, these are my favorite snacks. Walnuts. I've been eating walnuts. Actually, I like pecans or pecans. Pecan. Pecan. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Anyway, peeps. Now, I want to make this video about something. Dang, this was 29th. This was last week. Was it last week? Hell, I don't even remember. Anyways, I was gonna do this video actually a couple days ago, but your boy been busy, and I ain't really been trying to look. I don't know. I just been busy doing stuff. So the reason, oh, this is 6 days ago. Well, no, I don't even know if it was 6 days ago. Anyways, it's about last week. Anyways, we're gonna go over this because I don't even know what this is about. To be honest with you, um, because I wanted to do this in live so we can see what the heck is going on. Now I'm in this group. I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I think about like getting out of this group. To be honest with you, I don't see it. I mean, it doesn't benefit me in any way. And I actually signed up for the group, and it took them like 2, 3 months for me to accept me. So, and then the more I'm staying in this group, the more I'm just like, what the hell is going on? What's wrong with people? Anyways, so this is from a lady named Wendy. Let's read this. Huh, interesting. All right. Economic parity and what the hell? I don't even know what the heck is parity. Oh, here we go with this bullshit. Okay, let's read this because we'll see. And by the way, if you are watching this, if you're a woman, you might well just click off. You're probably not gonna like what I'm gonna say. Probably gonna get triggered, and that's okay. But yeah, you probably gonna get triggered because I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna tell you. Now I'm going to do something a little different. I'm not gonna speak in terms of how I feel about this. I'm gonna speak in terms from a HR perspective. For those that don't know, I am in human resources. So I'm gonna go into this with the human resources mind intact. Now, you see my comment because I kind of read this, and one of the questions I posed, I'm gonna pose this question right now. Are women actually? Because I think I was actually responding to a comment. Because I saw the comments and then I was just. Anyways, here's the question I pose. Okay, I pose this question to y'all. Are women actually, and I mean truly actually happy with their careers? Meaning that, and I'm not talking about someone who just works. I'm talking about someone who has a legitimate career that they're actually pursuing. Or would they rather be a stay-at-home wife slash mother, meaning that they take care of the family? So let's I don't think I have to tell you what the comments say. We'll get into that later. So let's read this. Economic parity in relationships. Because apparently, and I don't know. Anyways, okay. So this person's been thinking about the institution of marriage a lot lately. The reasons that people get married facilitates between, okay? So, number one is love and a desire to immortalize that emotion. You know, I hate to say this. I mean, she makes sense, but it kind of, I don't. Okay, let me just keep reading. Number two, security for a family to ensure that there is a legal structure in place to solidify a financial commitment. See, we okay. See, peace. We hold on. And we're kind of. I think I see where this is going. I could be wrong because the structure of that sentence almost makes me. It makes it almost seems like I don't. I don't know. Yes, you want to get married for legal reasons, and that's going to be basically financial because whatever incomes you make, you can combine those incomes, and you also can have you have a better chance at obtaining resources. We're gonna say resources because financial, yes, but we're gonna go with resources, right? Um, I mean, the way that's worded is almost as if it's stating that you're getting married to secure um your family for to ensure that there's a legal structure, but to also make sure that um well you're just basically marrying for financial reasons, and that's it, which technically is true. I mean, I don't know why that's a bad thing. Why in the world would you want to pay taxes twice when you can just pay taxes once? That's why I'm trying to figure out the wording of that sentence make it seem like that it's only just for money. Now I have heard women say things like, when they dated guys that these guys wanted to get married. Matter of fact, we did a reaction to a video of a lady that I was speaking to where she said that the guy just wanted to get married because somehow or another, if they got married, he would only have to pay for, I guess, what'd you say, five or six of the kids versus eight? Why? I don't even. And we're not gonna get into that conversation about why you're dating a man that has eight kids. That don't even make sense. But I kind of get that. It's almost like the guy wants to try to manipulate so he can pay less, which makes sense because I guess there's a family. I don't know. To me, that's almost. I don't know. See, I feel like that this is going down. We're trying to go down a rabbit hole and trying to unearth negativity and the negative sides of marriage. But I could be wrong, peeps. I could be wrong. I'm just going by because I'm trying to figure out. I'm getting ahead of myself. So the other thing is number three. I'm going to call this other just because there are a lot of other random reasons people get married. Okay. But one or two are the main reasons. So basically, what I get from what she's saying is that now I don't know about number one. I don't think people get. I mean, women may get married for love and want to immortalize that emotion. Men don't necessarily get married because they love someone. That is not. Matter of fact, if I had to tell you the only reason why men get married is because of the fact that they like to be around you and they would rather not have to go and find someone else to replace you. And you treat them good, so they're like, I'll go ahead and put a ring on it. And if they do want children, or if children does happen, we was all raised to know that hey, it's better to be married so your children can grow up and they can see, that family structure and how it should be and how it should work. Now, I'm just telling you this from how I was raised and how everybody else got married. Why y'all are dating men who are getting married for other reasons is kind of interesting. I'm gonna say that I don't understand number one because number one, I've never heard of a guy say, "Oh, I married my wife because I love her." There's usually more to that, and I don't think we immortalize love. Number two, I could see that being a reason, but again, I'm confused by the way it's structured. Again, I didn't do very good in English, so but from what I can tell, Number two being a financial reason. Yeah, like I said, why would you want to pay taxes twice when you can pay once? Come on now, that just makes more sense. And that's from that goes back to the. So this is what I'm thinking. And I could be wrong on this. I think number one is really more for women. Number two is for men, and it's kind of like a transaction. So men will marry you because you provide financial. I don't even know if that's even because I think what's throwing me off is this commitment, financial commitment. Because what kind of financial commitment would you have, even if you have a family? Because I can have a family and not have any financial commitments. You can have a family and live with your mom and dad. I mean, it happened back in the old days. Who shoot? but um, but I think number one is more of a woman thing. Number two is for a God thing. So it actually combine those two. It's transactional. That would make more sense to me. But okay. Let's see. But one or two of the main reasons, and I would argue that ultimately, even though love is the, here we go with these words again. What the hell does this mean? Impetus. Okay. Even though love is the impetus and the backdrop, the main reason is financial security. Is she trying to say? Okay, listen. I told you I made a D when I was in college. I didn't do good in English. I really didn't. Matter of fact, I think the teacher just passed me because one, she was young and maybe she had a crush. I don't know if she liked me or not. I know she annoyed the hell out of me. But I just saying I didn't do good. So here's what I'm trying to interpret. So she's saying that love. So this statement right here. So she's just saying that basically love is a force behind why people get married, right? But the main reason people get married is for financial security. Now, I'm gonna keep reading, but I'm kind of confused by what this has to do with economics in a relationship. But we're gonna keep reading. Um, Something else I was thinking about too. Why is this a bad? Is this a bad thing? Like, again, let me repeat what I just said. Why would you pay taxes twice when you only pay it once? Come on now. I mean, we I'm gonna be honest with you, just based on what I've seen when it comes to relationships, and why y'all fail at relationships is because y'all don't even have an understanding of how teamwork works, how teams work. I can tell when women haven't played sports and haven't been on a team because of how they act in a relationship. Let's keep going. Just wanted to put that out there. All right, as we move forward towards economic parity, now why is there an economic parity? Let's keep going, okay? Women are able to provide for themselves, and they don't need to be married to secure their family's future. Ah! Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace. Listen, I am not going to go into this. Here's the thing. The way that it's worded is making it seem like that women were just like this poor, defenseless little thing that couldn't do nothing in the past. And before y'all come at me in the comments, I don't want to hear about all the atrocities that y'all experienced back in the 30s and 20s, because y'all didn't experience those atrocities. Because if y'all did, you and I would not be alive to this day. We wouldn't even have children. We would literally not be alive. Matter of fact, the U.S. population would be suffering if women was had such atrocities. Anyways, so here's where I have a problem with. So she's saying that basically now women are able to provide for themselves and don't need to be married to secure their family's future. So basically, what I'm getting at is basically what you're saying, based upon what I'm reading, is that, and it doesn't say this, is that you can be with a guy without actually having marriage, right? Which is fine. But I posed a question at the beginning: why pay taxes twice when you could pay it once? Yes, you can go out and pay taxes. He can pay taxes. You can pay your bill. It just doesn't make. You talking about economics? That don't even make sense. You're literally living like two single damn ass people at that point. Hell, you might as well just go out and he buy a house and y'all buy a house and y'all just take turns raising children, I guess. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense, especially from a business perspective, because relationships, you want to think in the terms of a business, how to better for everybody involved, including your children. But let's keep going. They also don't need to stay married if they are in a unstable marriage and they can afford to leave. Now, see, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is that whole fear mongering. Yeah, we look that up. But this is that. Let me install fear that first off, the reason why you have these bad relationships is because women. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all don't really vet guys that well. Y'all just don't. I mean, we're gonna get into the comments because I saw some comments I wanted to address. But women don't even vet guys. Do I know this? Okay. I have been on multiple dates in the last 20 years. I'm gonna tell you right now that I think I've only met two women that actually had certain things that they was looking for in a man. And they actually had specific questions for me regarding those things that they was looking for. The thing is, I've never really been on a date where women just ask me questions. When they do ask me questions, it's questions that I ask them. So, for instance, I will ask them, well, what was your relationship like with your dad? Are you and your dad close? That is a very important question for a guy to ask a woman because her relationship with her dad will dictate what her relationship is going to be with you. And the more that you know about her dad, you'll be able to tell if you're going to be, because do I want to go back how vetting works? Back in the old days, the father was the one that vetted, the guys that was talking to their daughters. So you as a guy couldn't even get married until you got permission from the father. Well, I ain't gonna say well, it was technically permission. You couldn't get married to this woman until her father basically approved of you. Once he approved of you, then you was able to get married, right? But going back to this statement here, you got to be able to vet, ask questions. See, when I ask that question about, how your relationship with your dad, what they'll do is they'll turn around and then ask me, well, what about you and your dad? Which has nothing to do. Listen, you can ask like what his relationship is with his mom and maybe his family dynamic, but you asking the same question back, that's not really vetting because there are certain questions that women should be asking men and vice versa, right? But let's keep reading because I know, no, I guess I don't know a whole lot, and I'm assuming she's been married. We're gonna based on this if she's been thinking about the institution of marriage, because you wouldn't be thinking about that unless you've been married before. All right, so they don't need to stay. They don't. They also don't need to stay married if they're in an unstable relationship. So yeah, that's common sense. Um, If your relationship isn't stable, don't don't stay. Matter of fact, don't even get married until you know it's going to be stable. Now she said this is great because it forces us to work on our relationships. Let me reread this again because I think I missed something here. I'm confused by this whole statement. Okay, so she's saying that this is great, okay, because it forces us to work on our relationships. I'm telling you, I did not do good in English at all. You know something, peeps. When I was in high school, I did terrible in English. I really did. We would be reading books. Matter of fact, I remember when we was reading Macbeth. First off, everybody in the classroom understood that damn. So I couldn't even tell you what that damn book or play is about. I didn't understand nothing because number one, and it was funny because it was written in broken English. One, and then I find out that that's not even the original translation of the book, which that scares me because I'm like, well, how? What the hell? You talking about that's the easiest to understand? I'm like, I don't understand nothing. So this is why I'm confused. So again, I'm admitting that I don't understand certain things, right? And I'll admit that. So I'm trying to figure out how, okay, so because of the fact that we don't have to be married to secure a family's future, which you should be married to secure your family's future, because there's something called life insurance. So if when you die, it's great that you can put down beneficiary as your spouse. But there's also benefits for having both of y'all having life insurance. I think there's even some companies, if you are married, you get a discount for life insurance. Now, I'm not saying through your employer because your employer is a flat rate. It's different. But I don't think this is a good thing, right? Also, if you don't need to stay married, if you're in an unstable relationship, you can afford to leave. I mean, she I don't understand what this whole thing is about. I really don't get it. So in this here, she's saying that they stay together. Okay, we stay together. We stay together because we love each other now, not because we are financial prisoners. So if I'm thinking correctly, she's basically saying that I guess at some point women felt like they was financial prisoners. But that's why they couldn't get away. But see, here's where I would. Here's my thing, right? When you get married, your mom and dad don't die. Your family don't die. They don't move away and just disappear because you got married. So if you're being abused, for instance, in your relationship, and you're a stay-at-home wife, all you gotta do is pack your shit up and go live with your parents. Listen, that's what normal people did back in the day. When you gonna get divorced, the wife, the woman will always go and ooh, she would go and stay with her parents so she can get, financially on her feet. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying. I don't get the whole statement, but okay. See, I will say too. That's it's a little bit too big brain thinking right there because again, if you're again stay at home wife, you're not working, you don't have any income, your husband starts cheating on you or abuses you, that's where you're supposed to reach out to your family and say, hey, this is what's going on, and I need to get away from this. Can I stay with y'all? because your parents, unless you have a weird family dynamic, your parents would welcome you back in open arms. And I want to point out too, there's no shame other than you being a hard ass, but there's no shame in going back to live with your parents at age 40, 45, even 50. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, if you're probably at that age, your parents are probably at the age of retirement, and you're probably going to be living together anyway, because most people's parents tend to live with them as they get older. We're not going to get into that because, again, that's a little too big brain. A little too big brain for some of y'all, but let's keep going, okay? So she said it would be interesting to see how relationships evolve as women are gaining financial independence to move away from patriarchal paradigms. Now, let me Google this and see if this is even a term. This is not even a term that. Okay, so here's the thing. Major red flag when you hear someone using the word patriarchy, because or patriarchal, whatever, right? This right here is this whole, what do they call it? Fourth wave feminists. Listen, I told you these people are not happy, and you can tell. So this what here, and I'm just first off, this whole last line don't really make sense because she's making this seem as if women are still gaining financial independence. They've been able to gain financial independence since the damn 60s. I hate to tell y'all this. Hell, matter of fact, I would even go back, I would even go as brave and say that since the 30s. Because I remember my grandmother was telling me stories about, cause matter of fact, um, when she moved to where we was originally at in Hot Springs, she was cleaning houses and stuff and was able to buy her house. I have a cousin who's of course his grandfather did all this, but he bought about 5, 6 different properties, right? I also had actually a lot of women in my family, they all own houses. And when I say own houses, I mean they weren't paying a dime. Aunt owned a house. I had all my aunts own houses. Um, I was thinking that I had an aunt that owned like other property, but I don't. Maybe not. It may have been. I think it was the husband that owned like different properties and stuff. But I don't. That statement's kind of confusing because it's almost like they're saying that gaining financial independence. I mean, they're already. I mean, y'all are doing that right now. I don't know of any woman who's not uh, gaining financial independence, right? So basically, what I'm thinking she's saying is that women are starting to move away, which we know that they're doing is starting to move away from this whole ideal that women are supposed to be like the mother, the nurturer. Um, they're the ones that's going to be the stay-at-home wives, take care of family, and they're going to be like they want to basically be men and get out here in the workforce and be financial independent. And I guess they want to have children, but they don't necessarily have to be married to not only have children, but to actually live with the guy because that wouldn't make sense, right? To get married, have children, and then go and live with the guy that you bore children with. We're seeing this now as we have fatherless households because, see, you all are complaining about the violence and these school shootings. I'm gonna tell you why these school shootings are happening is because you don't have fathers in the household. I mean, that's just how it is. What up, FB? FTB? How's it going? We're getting into some big brain stuff here. So, all right, let's look at the comments. I want to try to go. Do I want to do the most recent? Okay. Okay. So let's just look at my comment. My comment. This is what I posed the question as, right? Are women actually happy with their careers? Or now I didn't get no context. I didn't sit here and I just asked a simple question. Are they going to be are women really happy with their careers, or would they rather be a stay-at-home wife slash mother? Which one of those would give women the most happiness? So let's take a look. So she says that it's been a hot minute, or it's taken a hot minute, but now we can choose. I'm sorry. My grandmother back in the 40s and 50s was cleaning. She was making money. She literally was cleaning. It's actually funny because she actually used to clean my counselor's father's home. So she was making money. Matter of fact, a lot of the women in my family at that time, she was making money. My aunt, she was making money because she did cleaning too. Of course, when we talk cleaning, we gotta think about black women in general. Our black the black side of things. We're gonna talk about that. They used to clean houses to get money. They would get paid really good too. If you found, from what I was told, if you found a good, because my counselor's dad, I forgot, he was like he owned something, some sort of company. But yeah, they got paid really good. Listen, and they would only clean, I think like 2 or 3 times a week. So it wasn't even like they was every day they went to clean. They literally cleaned 2 to 3 times a week. And she was able to buy a house. Now I don't think none of them had cars, cause I can't. Yeah, I don't think neither of them have cars. But that's what I'm saying. She's saying it's taking a hot minute. You can choose. Y'all could have been a chose. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know what this has to do with current day, but whatever. Now she said that I might like to watch this. What the hell? Neighbors just doing all kind of bullshittery. All right, we'll look at that here in a little bit. Let's keep going. This Taffy Davison person. She said there is absolutely no way in hell I've been ever been happy staying at home. Okay. Damn, y'all hate being at home that bad. Listen, I will stay my ass home all day damn day. I don't give a damn. What the hell's out there for me? What, to get shot at? To get killed? To get all into yeah, I stay at home. Game. Stream with y'all. Get drunk at home. Cook at home. The hell, ain't nothing out there for me. The heck. Anyways, I guess women hate staying at home. I don't have no problem with it. Shoot. Shit. I stay my ass at home all day long. Anyways, says here, I loathe cooking and cleaning. And get this, matter of fact, we just went over this post the other night. Says here, I am not a nurturing person. There you go. This is feminism at its best. Not a nurse. Here's the thing. Ooh. So I'm assuming you don't have kids. Because if you have kids, you have to be nurturing, right? Probably don't have a husband because, well, maybe you did and the husband left or cheated on her. But yeah. She said, I'd have felt claustrophobic and unfulfilled. That was the miserable life I'd have to live. That's crazy. So now I would question. Now here's a question I have. Now she says she loves cooking and cleaning, so I guess you don't need neither one. But I will say this: it would be far removed for me saying this. I've gone to some women's houses. Listen, I'm gonna give you context of how bad it is. These women don't even have vacuum cleaners. I, I don't have to say no more than that. They don't have vacuum cleaners. I'm not playing. Okay, this person. Oh, this is a new comment. Oh, okay. This was yesterday. Okay. So this person here, Liberty, says I was a housewife for 20 years. What the hell? Okay. Two husbands. I was anti-feminist. Okay. As I grew older, I hated being bossed around and breaking my back taking care of everything. I'm sorry. So you was a housewife. So that means that your husband, because in order to be a housewife, your husband has to work. So you hated being bossed around. So your husband. Now I need to get context on this. I don't want to get too deep into this because I don't like arguing with and talking to feminists. They're impossible. There's no point. It's a rabbit hole of no return. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But she's and again, it don't sound like it was abusiveness, but she had two husbands and she was a housewife for 20 years. She hated being bossed around and breaking her back taking care of everything. So if you read the rest of that, it just doesn't make sense. So your husband goes to work. You're saying you're taking care of everything. So what? You're taking care of everything in the house, like cooking, cleaning. Him telling you, hey, to get this ready, or hey, go to the store and pick this up for me. So that's being bossy, right? But your husband is the one bringing it home. See, this is why I said that a lot of women today have never played sports because they have no idea about. You know what? Let's keep reading because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I think a lot of women don't have a mindset of team. Everything is me, 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 me. I. Your husband is basically the one bringing in the income. Now, did he want you to be a housewife? Probably yes. If you, again, if you don't want to be a housewife, fine. Do what you want to do, whatever makes you happy, right? But this right here. You was a housewife. You hated being bossed around because your husband telling you, "Hey, to do something for me is being bossy." You saying you're breaking your back taking care of everything because your husband works and doesn't want to be home cleaning when you're actually at home all day long. And by the way, when we're talking about cooking and cleaning, there's a couple of things that men did that women don't appreciate, right? What did men invent? Well, I don't think women invented vacuum cleaners. Matter of fact, I know that we have smart vacuums. I have one. Hell, I don't even have to vacuum no more or mop. Literally, I literally just when I'm at work, I vacuum. When I'm at work, I mop. I mean, we made the world because I'm gonna tell you something. Back in the day, okay, y'all don't know this, and I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna give women the benefit. This is why I have so much, and had so much respect for the women of yesteryear, because women, the cooking, the cleaning, that was a freaking full time job. Men would literally work 8 to 10 hours a day. Women was working 12 to 16 hours a day. Cleaning the house, that was a very tedious task because one, like right now, we all have mops and buckets. They didn't have that shit back in the day. You had to get on your knee. If you see cartoons of women or just people, I've never seen too many men do this, but they was on the floor with a rag scrubbing the floor. That's how they cleaned the floor. They didn't have mops and all that. You was good. You would do good to even have good cloths, right? So they did that sort of thing. They didn't have microwaves back then. Everything had to be cooked from scratch. They didn't have hot pockets. They didn't have TV dinners. They didn't have all of that. And then if you had children, they was responsible for getting the children to school, dressing them, making sure that the husband had his food ready. They did a lot. And that's where the respect comes from and the appreciation comes from. Fast forward to 2023, we literally made everything easy. You got microwaves, you got Uber Eats, you got what Grubhub, whatever, all these fast service. You had the ability to actually order food and go pick it up, so you don't even have to wait in line. You have all these restaurants and fast foods like they didn't have that back in the day. Not like that anyway. Did I say they have microwaves? Yes, they got all these gadgets that make things cook faster and easier. And we're up here talking about that I was tired of taking care of everything. When your great great grandmothers, right? Your great grandmothers, your great great grandmothers, your great 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 grandmothers busted their ass because we didn't have the technology like we have now. No, these women here would rather not do nothing but stay on damn Snapchat, Instagram, whatever popular social media there is, and post stuff and do all this other crap that's not contributing to society or contributing to the actual family unit. And according to what I'm seeing, they don't care about family unit. And this is why I have the issue that I have with stuff like this. And it's going to be blunt. I have issues with stuff like this because the world is so. Listen, I don't even. You want to really talk about not needing someone? I don't even need a wife because outside of cooking, everything else is taken care of. It takes me 30 minutes to clean. I don't have to vacuum or mop because all I got to do is when I leave out the door, just tell Google to start the vacuum. But hey, this is the life y'all want to live. So we again 2023 and we're saying we're making statements that we're tired of taking care of everything because listen, and that's another thing, we got dishwashers, you don't even have to wash dishes. But here's the funny thing, when you talk to women about dishwashers, they won't use them because they say, well, it doesn't get my dishes clean. And I said, I've been using a dishwasher for 20 years and have had no issues getting my dishes clean. The issue I would have if I am having issues getting my dishes clean is because I had too many dishes in the dishwasher, and you gotta load your dishwasher properly. So let's continue. So down below it says it's nice to have options in agency and the right to borrow money. Why in the hell would you want to borrow money? See, listen, I got debt too, just like everybody else, but why in the hell would you want to borrow money? You don't want to create debt. You want to avoid debt so you can build wealth for your family unit. But what do I know? I don't know anything. Or even have a bank account and property. She asks us if like we are living in like 1920. Like, listen, how old, I don't even know how old she is. Well, she's okay, so I can probably guess how old she is. I'm gonna tell you right now. She's probably around my mom's age. Well, maybe not that old, but my mom, yeah, she's probably in her either upper 40s or early 50s. So women didn't have that issue at her generation didn't have no issue with anything that she's talking about. So I don't even know where this even comes from. All right, so Taffy says, I love this so much. I grew up where every single female I knew was basically an indentured servant to their husband. Here we go. Here we go. They couldn't buy anything or make decisions about their life without a discussion or permission. Well, I've never been married, and here's the thing. I'm gonna say something on this. Before I say what I'm about to say, I want to just let you know that I've been in HR for 7 years. I keep bringing that up. I know, but I want to. Well, the reason why I say that is because when I talk to a guy about anything that deals with his changing of jobs or anything like that, changing shifts, you know the first thing that the guys would say? I need to go home and talk to my wife about it. I get that all the time. Anyone that's been married, it's always I have to go home and talk to my wife about it first. Listen, what did I tell y'all? Teamwork. If I'm married to someone, I'm not gonna make a decision, especially when in regards to even my life, because it could affect my wife's life or the family's life. So yes, you want to talk about stuff before you just do shit. Buy something, yes. I can't buy that fucking 2000. I can't buy a damn 4090 without talking to my wife about it. That's 2,000 damn dollars. If I went and did that, it could have a negative impact on the family unit. We don't know what the hell's going on. She's making it seem like that she was that she how she's wording this makes it seem like that she couldn't buy nothing, nor could she make any decision about her life without discussion or permission. But the guy could without discussing or asking for permission. And I don't believe that one bit. Let's keep going. They were role models in how I refused to live my life from as early as 6 years old. Well, that's your problem right there. That was your problem right there. See, this generation of women that are growing up super selfish. I have never met so many selfish women. Like I literally actually felt sorry for women back in the day. But we have a lot of selfish women. A lot of selfish women. It's just selfish. So yes, if you get married, you're operating as a unit. Yes, you need to discuss things when it becomes buying stuff or even and again, you can't just do shit without having a discussion about it. You just can't. That's you're not an independent person when you're married. It's a family unit. So anyways, but yeah, that makes sense though. I completely agree that it will force a relationship to stay together because of love and not financial power. Relationships will become much healthier and stronger when this becomes the norm. What the hell are they talking about? Anyways, the sad truth is it will likely not be something universally accepted in my lifetime. Men have to have the confidence that a woman will. What in the world? Men have to have the confidence that a woman will stay with them for them and not because they can't support themselves without them. Why the hell? This is y'all's problem right here. Why the hell are y'all dating men who can't even support themselves? Stop marrying men. If this is, if I'm reading this correctly, why would you even make this statement? That's a weird statement to make. So you're basically dating and marrying a man who can't support himself. Why would you even talk? Then there's the emasculation if the woman makes 2 to 10 times a man. Huh? Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. We getting into that now. So here's the thing. Y'all dating feminine guys. Let me explain something to you. Men, by nature and large, do not give a damn about your career, your money, how much you make. We do not give a damn. We just don't. No guy, and prove me wrong, but no guy, unless he's feminine, cares about a woman's paycheck. We don't care. We just don't care. Matter of fact, we would like you to make more money. Why? Remember that little term teamwork? So if I'm making money and you're making money, that's more money for the family unit. See, this right here, this term right here, this whole emasculation thing. See, I know that there are men out there that, for some reason, think that they're not a man if a woman makes more than them. And yeah, those are feminine men. Those are men that they don't know what they want in life. They can't sustain anything in life, so they go to women. And these women fall for that shit. I don't know what to tell y'all. This is what happens when you start dating feminine men because now, anyways, I'm sure most men will take offense to this. Actually, no, we don't take offense to that. Matter of fact, again, I've already stated this right here. This is stupid. No man, no normal man cares about how much you pay. Matter of fact, I wish my girlfriend would get paid more than me. Listen, if I'm making, because I'm making, what is it, about 35, give or take. So I'm making 35 and she makes 50. Shit. You know what we doing for Christmas? We're going on a honeymoon trip. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about that. Like I said, the only men that care about that shit, there's a feminine guys, and then there's those guys that they have like a big ego. They're in. I don't know. They're feminine. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. I know a guy. Actually, you know what's funny? I knew two guys where their spouse actually makes more because the spouse is like a nurse and they don't care. They literally come to work, they do their damn job, and they got kids, and they just do they just do them. They're happy as hell. I can't say if she's happy because she's like I forgot what she was. She's like a ER. She works in the ER, not ER unit. Wait, what's it called? Cause no, it's not ER. It's the I forgot what it's called. It's another level of ER. So it's not. I think, but it may be ER. Hell, but I'm trying to think of what it was called. But yeah, she works something in care unit, and this is like serious. Like your hand got chopped off, or you've been shot, or you have five people who's been shot multiple times. Like she works in that type of field. Yeah, so she makes some good money. But again, men don't care about that shit. Anyways, the sheer fact that we are still forced to be distinguished as Mrs. and fear. What in the world? As somehow our marital status should play into any aspect of our lives. This is a huge pet. What the fuck? Yeah, this is someone has some trauma. Who likes this stuff? Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, she has some trauma. That's all I can say. All right, I am strongly encouraging my girls to hold off on marriage as long as possible. Live your single life to the fullest. Yes, 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 yes. Please have your children, your girls, live the single life as long as possible. Have them have lots of sex and babies out of wedlock, so we can have more school shootings, more people acting stupid, and then complain about how men are the problem and men are trash. So Ryan said, I think we're on a path of economic disparity favoring women since men are not enrolling or competing as many degrees as women. So the financial security aspect would be very interesting in the next several years. So what in the world? You got strange ass people walking around like shit. Like what the hell? Anyways, now here's the thing. I think I just talked about this. So the reason why this is true is because you got to think about the types of jobs that women go into and men go into. Most men that make a lot of good money they go into like the trades. We're talking about like carpentry, plumbing, oil field, truck driving, and keep in mind these are fields, especially truck driving. Do you know how much you get paid as a damn truck driver? And you can literally come straight out of high school. All you gotta do is be the age of well, it depends. It could be 21 or 23 depending on what you're trying to do. But you could be a truck driver and make good as money, right? Here's the thing about we're looking at this degree thing. Let me tell you something. What's the debt that we have? We have like 1.7 trillion dollars of education debt that we're trying to get paid. What they're trying to do away with, right? This is stupid. This has nothing to do with relationships at all because people equate having degrees and making more money. And I'm gonna tell you something. That may have been a thing in the back in the day, but it's not so much now. Because technically, women. The only reason why women make a lot of money is because if they're not doing OnlyFans and all that other bullshittery, is because they have to go to school because of the fields that they're getting into, right? And most women, what's this 4 year colleges? So this and that's normal. And actually, I don't see a difference. The men, actually, the men gone up. So I don't know. I don't get that. I mean, like I said, it doesn't really matter because that has nothing to do with anything. Most women go into fields um, that require degrees, whereas men they don't have to have a degree to actually make good money. And we go into more things that are hands on, whereas women go into more administrative things. You know what's funny in this whole conversation? I don't see. I don't think any of these women will open up businesses that deal with infrastructure. I don't think they will open up businesses dealing with construction, things that actually make a difference in the human population. Well, let's keep going. True, however, white women still only make 83 cents on the dollar compared to men. This is a false statement. I would write back and ask her, where do you get this from? Because this is not this is inaccurate. So the reason why, so we're gonna take the race aspect out of this, right? The reason why women, where, okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure out where the hell they be getting all this shit. So you got this shit from the media. So men earn $8,000 more than females. That's just the wage itself. Okay. So let's do some critical thinking about that. That's how they're getting their stats. Let's do some critical thinking. What fields do women go into typically? Administrative. They're not going into the oil field. They're not really going into STEM. Matter of fact, they got so many programs that they're trying to promote to get women to get a degree in STEM. They're not going into construction. They're not going into. I don't see female dump truck drivers. You know how much a dump truck driver makes? Do you know how much a railroad engineer makes, which is basically the person that operates the train? They make damn near almost 100K, and you don't need a degree for that. But women are not going into that. That's why this exists. As far as black women making this money, that's and the reason why black women make less than white men is it has nothing to do with color. It's because most black women typically, again, they don't go into the same fields that men go into. They just don't. They're not looking at this. So these stats are only looking at as a whole. It's not accounting for the fact that women go into different fields that pay lower, less stress. So I'm not gonna get into all of that. Let's watch this because I don't even know what this is. Is this something I can even watch, or is this something? What in the world? It's an hour long.
The voyage of the Exxon Valdez. Now, the Exxon Valdez is most likely the most productive oil tanker voyage ever known on the face of the planet. Now, if it had simply loaded up its oil in Alaska and made its way down the west coast and discharged into a bunker, it would have been a moderately productive voyage in economic terms. But if you want to have fantastic growth, it's a very good idea to ram your tanker into an iceberg. Immediately, there are the insurance costs and the new tanker. This is great for growth. Then there are the civil legal proceedings and the criminal legal proceedings. Immediately, of course, there's the payment for the cleanup operation. Then down the way a little bit, there are the compensations to fisher people and the compensations to the tourist industry. And of course, there is the film, the television rights, the book, the various newspaper and media exercises that go on. And of course, consequently, there is the influx of subscriptions to memberships of every greenie organisation you can think of. A fantastically productive oil tanker voyage. You see what I mean? It all added to growth. Nobody stood there and said, dearie me, just lost an oil tanker, better subtract that from the national income accounts.
I think most economists place a affirmative value on being incomprehensible. Indeed, they seem to value their work in inverse ratio to their ability to be understood. There's some exceptions to that. John Kenneth Galbraith, for instance, writes comprehensibly. But Marilyn, because her goal is to be understood, she understands very well that if people don't have the information, they can't act on it. Demystifies the language and really makes economics, as it should be, simply the way we impute value to that which we consider valuable.
Now I want y'all, cause y'all heard what she said. I want you to write in the comments and translate exactly what she said in your own words. Cause I did not understand not one thing she said. I'm just gonna be blunt. Am I stupid? I guess I am stupid. I'm the stupidest college grad that probably is walking on this damn earth because I did not understand a goddamn thing she said. I don't even know what is even going on. All I saw was a poetic way of putting words together. That's all I heard. I'm serious.
The word economics.
Let's fast forward.
The word radical can contain it because you're saying all of these ways of looking at economics and the way we discuss trade and productivity up on a blackboard, you just wipe it clean.
Well, I hope the word radical does encompass it, actually, because it comes from the Latin derivation radius. It means from the root of things.
That fast forward 2 months.
It was 1975.
Across to Europe, and the same thing is happening in Europe. The Maastricht Treaty is signed, and all these countries are saying, well, yeah, this will be great, we'll be coming together. This will be good for our economies. How does someone like you react to that?
Well, it might change GDP figures, but you're starting from the wrong premise. I mean, all of these decisions were based on the wrong figures in the first place.
You can think of
Justifies the language.
a household. Economics has pretensions to being concerned with notions of value. The word value is defined from the Latin valore. It's a beautiful word. It means to be strong or to be worthy.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with capital or material gain.
On the New Zealand share market, the NZSE 40 Capital Index finished
Isn't economics just basically like a measure of how like the value of a system is? I thought that's all economics was. I think we're getting into deep with stuff.
today at 1,627 points. That's up 22. The share market was busy this afternoon. There were 39 rises and 20 falls on a total turnover of $53.8 million. That's the finance, and that's all from Checkpoint.
In Canada right now, we've just signed a free trade agreement with the United States and Mexico. We hear that it's a whole question of productivity. This is going to be good for economies. This is going to boost our GNP. We look across to Europe, and the same thing is happening in Europe. The Maastricht Treaty is signed, and all these countries are saying, well, yeah, this will be great, we'll be coming together. This will be good for our economies. How does someone like you react to that?
Well, it might change GDP figures, but you're starting from the wrong premise. I mean, all of these decisions were based on the wrong figures in the first place. For 10, 20 years, we've had these cliches, we've heard this rhetoric, you know, inside or outside discussions on free trade. You tell us things are getting better. It's perfectly obvious to us. Our air is getting worse. Our education systems are failing the poorest people. There is more poverty. There is more homelessness. There are...
Okay, so let me address some of that stuff there. So we gotta stop playing this whole victim Olympic stuff and just look at things as it is, okay? As far as there being homelessness, those are choices. I mean, first off, it's very few people that are just born and just thrown out on the streets. Most people that are homeless would tell you that they actually had um pretty good uh uh family unit, right? They had a place to stay. They just chose to be homeless because they decided to make certain decisions, turn to drugs, doing stuff that they had no business doing, getting caught up in stupid shit so they can have a record. So now they can't even get a job, which jobs don't want to hire you because they look at you as being not really trusting you, right? Because they have a lot to lose by employing someone that may go out and embezzle money or steal. Not saying that people don't already do that. Like I said, it's very few and beyond that you have people from the time that they was born thrown out in the streets. Okay, it just doesn't happen.
more housing crises. We might well have growth, you know, you might be proving it to us. But we look around our communities, we can't see this being realised. In fact, maybe we don't believe it. And I suspect...
You know what? Just based upon what she said, and just going back to the Facebook post, this is the reason why I said that, women and men, both women and men need to look at things from more of a business perspective and look at it as we need to work together so we can build together, right? That whole post that was posted on Facebook I'm telling you, has it doesn't have merit. Well, it doesn't have any value in my book because was always able to make money. They was always able to make money. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't make money back in like the 1800s, but it started in the 1900s. I remember my grandmother back in the around the Great Depression, she was making money. See, the Great Depression didn't really affect the South. People don't really know that, but yeah, it didn't affect the South. Matter of fact, the South was still booming because the Great Depression didn't do away with agriculture, which is what rules the South even to today. But she was making money. So again, you gotta work as a unit, and when you don't want to work as a unit, stuff like this happens.
Expect that the unease that is in Canada and in the United States, and let me tell you, in Mexico, about NAFTA, has to do with the fact that it doesn't matter what they say, GDP might grow up, but GDP is utterly unrelated to the well-being of a community.
Okay, I agree.
It tells you nothing about levels of poverty. It tells you nothing about the distribution of poverty. It tells you nothing about primary health care, educational standards, environmental
I get that.
Had a bit of time left during the day to actually do all those little jobs. And yes, you just become a very good time management person.
Going up the slide all day, Anthony. When you make policy. And if you're not visible as a producer in a nation's economy, then you're going to be invisible in the distribution of benefits. And wherever I was, this was the world situation for women.
Come on now. Come on now. Listen. I don't know what this has to do with today's time. Women literally can get on OnlyFans and make my salary in a year. Okay? Let me just explain something to you. You know, the funny thing is, back in the day, now I could be wrong about this, but back in the day, like I told you, women didn't have it bad. Women, people, families used to actually have farms, and the man, the woman, and the kids would work on the farm. That's how they actually was able to get their resources and get the benefits. Work together.
Very often, too, in say, so-called developed countries, there'll be what you call pay-as-you-go superannuation schemes. So that if you're not earning a salary or a wage, you actually can't contribute. So you frequently have women who have worked fantastically long hours, 40, 45 years. They've never had any cash, say, to put into a superannuation scheme. And at the so-called end of their working life, because they don't stop working till they die, but at that point, the government then says, well, not only have you been invisible, but now you are welfare. Now you are a dependent on the state. Now you are a bludger. Now you're one of our obligations. You know, so you've got this extraordinary choice. You go from being nobody to being a problem, in spite of the fact that of all the people in the population, you just worked harder than anybody else for all those years, except you probably didn't get paid for it.
What, you mean actually
It's
raising
becoming part
family?
of a global situation for me.
Is that what
now.
this is about?
I mean, I'm able to make analogies between the unpaid rural women in Bangladesh or in the Philippines and the woman back in my constituency whose work is also invisible.
I'm confused. Let's keep watching, because I'm totally confused. Because it sounds like to me she's saying that the work that you do, such as like clean, cook,
The magnitude
that's
of the
work. You're not
invisibility
getting
of
paid
women's
for
work
it. And then
was
when you
a
get
major
older, you have
lesson
to
I learned
depend on
from
the
my
state
parliamentary
to make a
experience.
living.
For example, as a politician, it was virtually impossible for me to prove a need for childcare facilities. Mothers who are inactive and unoccupied cannot apparently be in need.
They screamed at my brother.
Did she?
Well, I'm Kathy Kyle, and I've been at this play centre for coming up a year. It's a time for the children to play, but it's also a time for the mother. It's a time when you can come in and say, oh, I had a heck of a day, and you know I need a break, or come and have a coffee with somebody.
Well, I started off as a mother and...
Len?
Yes?
I want the there.
Oh, do you think you can try sniffing them up for me while I
No.
talk? Yes, early starts.
Chaos.
Yeah, med rushes and then calms. When I had 3 under 5, it was 3 under 3.5. It was a med rush all the time, but you just got into a routine and you just coped. And then as one went off to school, the pressure came off because you had a bit of time left during the day to actually do all those little jobs. And yes, you just become a very good time management person.
Going up the slide all day, Anthony.
So to make that it's a
You're always
24-hour
aware
job.
of what they're doing and where they are, and even when they're not there, that you're still sort of thinking, I hope they're all right, and I hope that, you know, you're still worrying about them all the time. You can be very isolated when you live and work in your own home. But when you come out here and you see that everyone else has sort of got screaming kids and dirty nappies and all the other good things that go with it as well, pretty, then you just sort of cope that much better at home because you know that you're not the only one that's doing this. You know, we're shaping the next generation, so it really does depend a lot on.
So here's the thing that I'm not understanding. So if being a mother is that bad for y'all, don't be a damn mother. That I don't listen. Go y'all text me a link where there was a law where if you was a woman and you turn a certain age, you had to have kids. You could have just did what a lot of people do: don't have kids and stay to yourself. You all made that decision. I don't see no. I'm sorry. I nowhere in history did I see where someone said, "Oh, you have to have kids." You didn't. Like they're complaining. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really feel like this is scripted, and this is like indoctrination. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been around a lot of women. I don't know no women that talk like this. This is crazy. These women are literally complaining because they have all these.
How we do it.
Yes, I'll catch you.
When you leave work, it's the status of woman just goes boom, as according to society. But here we all take on jobs and we're valued for what we do, however small that role might be. So I think that's really important.
Kathy, a young, middle-class housewife, spends her days preparing food, setting
Now notice she said middle class. I'm assuming this is back in the, I don't know what year. It looked like it could have been like the 80s, mid 80s, right? Just listen to what they said. Middle class housewife. I mean, if the husband probably works probably about 10 to 12 hours. So we're going to see how she spends her days as a housewife while her husband works. And she doesn't. She doesn't bring in money. But the argument is because of the fact that she's doing what she's doing, she's not getting paid for it. And in turn, she doesn't feel valued in society, which in turn, as she gets older and gets to a certain age, that she's going to have to depend on the state because she didn't have any type of resources because she had to be a housewife. That's what I'm getting out of this. That is the most cynical thing you could think of. Most cynical. Matter of fact, I think back in that time period, they actually, the husbands and stuff, people who did work had pensions. The pensions was for their whole family, so when they all retire, they can live a pretty prosperous, happy life. You know what's funny, peeps? I actually did a blog at Amazon yesterday. I ran into this. It's like a community. I think it's a whole bunch of like older people, and it was so funny because I saw like Actually, I saw like 3 older couples. You know, they were married. They were just walking their little doggo. They said hi to me, and I had one lady, you know, say, "Hey, you know, hope you only got 2 packages." I was like, "Nah, I got more than that. I got about 15." She's like, "Oh, bless your heart." She's like, "Well, you be safe out there. Be careful." You know, these women were happy. Like couples were happy. I don't know what the hell that's coming from. And I know those people had kids too. I'm sure they had kids. They were still married. But this right here is just, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is
Setting the
truly
table,
ridiculous.
serving meals, clearing food and dishes from the table,
Uh-huh.
washing dishes, ironing, keeping an eye on or playing with the children,
Yeah.
dressing her children,
Ironing.
disciplining children,
Okay.
taking the children to daycare or to school, disposing of garbage, dusting,
Okay.
gathering clothes for the washing, doing the
Okay.
laundry, going to the gas station and the supermarket,
Okay.
repairing household items, making beds, paying bills, sewing or mending or knitting, talking with door-to-door salespeople, cutting the grass, weeding, answering the telephone,
Hold on. Y'all had to cut grass. See, I can tell this is over in UK because I know the men usually did the yard work. The women would do the gardening part, but the men did most of the yard work. So I'm not gonna watch this. Let's just continue.
vacuuming, sweeping and washing the floors, shoveling snow, cleaning the bathroom and kitchen and putting her children to bed. Kathy has to face the fact that she fills her time in a totally unproductive manner. She too
That shit is funny because she's a housewife. Her husband works all freaking day. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like women just want to just be at home and do not a goddamn thing. They just want to be at home, lay in bed, and sleep all day long. While you as men go out here and work, they're gonna go and complain about all the stuff they have to do at home because they don't work. I could see if the woman was working too and she had to do all of this stuff, then I would say, hey, that you need, as a man, you need to take some load off of her. But you as a man, this is what I'm getting out of this. You as a man decide to marry today's women. Not only do you have to work, you have to pay bills and do all the things that she said, do the yard work, talk to the salesman because I guess you're gonna talk to them when you're at work. But you gotta do all these things, but the women, they ain't gotta do nothing. So I know what's gonna be said in the comments probably later on. It's gonna be that, well, that's not what it really means. What she's really saying is that women are doing all these things and not getting paid for it. So what they want to do is they want to actually work like the men and pay taxes and do all those things because that's basically what the fuck you're gonna be doing. What the hell do you think that single men do? When I go to work, I still gotta come home. I gotta cook. I still gotta clean my bathrooms and wipe stuff down. I'm sorry, I still gotta go take my car and get it filled up. Me being single, you as a woman being single, you're still doing. Matter of fact, I will tell you like this: as a woman, I think it's stupid that you're doing what you're doing because you're basically doing every single thing that this woman has said, and you still gotta work because you ain't got no damn husband to share the income with. That's stupid. Let's continue.
is economically inactive and economists record her as unoccupied.
Yeah. That's all this is. All this is basically saying that women was doing all these things at home and that might be this is brainwashing bullshittery. It's all this is. It's brainwashing bullshittery. Because why are you so worried about what the government and all that stuff is doing and thinking? Like the way she's living her life, the way that she's describing all this, is making it seem like that her husband is going to basically leave her when he retires or something. I don't understand this. This is fear mongering. Fear mongering. Ben, okay?
Ben is a highly trained member of the US military.
Okay, let's see.
His regular duty is to descend to an underground facility
where he waits with a colleague. When I wrote this, it was a colleague, but now, due to drug abuse in the US military, it's with 2 colleagues, for hours at a time for an order to fire a nuclear missile.
And insert the keys and strap into each chair. My key is inserted. Check. So we're ready for step 35, key turn and commit time. Roger. And I show us in a good window, so let's go ahead and commit. Okay, we'll commit. We'll simultaneously rotate both keys, and this will send out the launch commands to the missiles to allow them to launch.
So let me get this straight. You women want to do shit like this. Have at it, because I can tell you right now, my mom, she wouldn't want to do this shit. And she's retired from the military, 37 years. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't want to do all this. And this is nerve-wracking and dangerous. I like that she did this because this is, I'm sure that they're just doing testing. But if this was an actual war, this is a dangerous job. Meaning you can die. But I guess it's what women want to do. So, hey, you're free to do it. Like, yeah, my mom, military, of course, she was in the reserve. Well, actually, I think she started off in the regular army. Then she went to the National Guard. Then she went to the reserve because I think with the National Guard, I think it was just too much as far as like her being gone. She didn't want to be gone a lot. But yeah, 37 years, military, retired. So she did it. And I don't see her complaining about being oppressed or patriarchy this. And matter of fact, as far as her career, she was in construction. Like I said, we was lower middle class. She was in construction actually for a while. Now, we all know that there's a difference between women bodies and men bodies. So she couldn't stay in that too long. And then they was also traveling, but she was doing manufacturing. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about here. What's
Ready on my mark? I'm ready.
So they're doing stuff that's dangerous.
Hold it for 5 seconds. And release. I show key turn is accomplished. And I've got another alarm to let us know that the launch command went through. Check.
Okay.
At that point, we're hoping that another crew within the squadron is going to be turning keys the same way that we did. It takes 2 crews turning keys at the same time to actually launch the missiles.
So why do we want that set up, right? Because you don't want to accidentally launch a missile, right? So let's just continue.
We work on a 2-vote system, so the 1 vote will send a launch command. The missiles will wait for a second launch vote from another launch control center before they will actually launch.
Okay.
After that, it's automatic.
Are they launching
So
a
skilled
rocket
and
into
effective is
space?
Ben that if his colleague were to attempt to subvert an order to fire, Ben would, if all else failed, be expected to kill him to ensure a successful missile launch.
Well, we're trained so highly in our recurring training that we take every month in simulators like this, so that if we actually had to do it, it would be an almost automatic thing. There wouldn't be time for any reflection until after we turn the key.
Keys, yeah, I get that.
Ben is in paid work. He is economically active. His work has value and contributes as part of the nuclear.
So basically, this whole documentary that was posted to me is basically women just want to work. I'm not gonna watch this no more. This is stupid. Women just want to work. Well, guess what? You're working now, and y'all are basically complaining about it because I see all the TikToks. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This stuff right here, I don't get it. I will say, not too many people commented or liked it. It only got 3 likes. Most of the comments are just, this is fear mongering. And this is it. I just pose a question. Will you really be happy with your career? Like, I guess these women will. But I noticed there's not that much traction on it. And this was done, I'm thinking about 6 days ago because the oldest, well, it's been a week. So the oldest comment is a week ago. I, Here's the thing to take from this: women can do whatever they want to do. I'm not seeing women get held back. I don't know why this post is even up. If I was a moderator, I would have been and took that post off. Yeah, I would have been and deleted this post. You know, someone. It's not like to me, someone's trying to push an agenda, and maybe she just feels like she feels. I don't know. What do they be saying? They feel oppressed because somehow or another we guys prevented them from working. Matter of fact, if you really go into the history of why women were even able to enter the workforce, is because there was a certain group of women that was wanting to go in the workforce, and men were like, "No, we don't really want the women doing that." Women didn't even want to do that, and then when women got their way, you kind of made the real women that wanted to do what they wanted to do mad and upset that they had to work. That's kind of the reason why you have, and you see this today where a lot of women don't even like work and they just don't. They work because they have to. They have to provide for their family, right? Given the choice, most women will just do part-time work. But I don't know. Like I said, I wanted to react to this post. I thought it was kind of interesting. I thought it was really just, it was kind of out of the clear blue. And I also, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to wait a little bit to see if that post was gonna gain traction. It didn't gain that much traction. I know people see the post because I've had posts on here where people commented a lot on, and they obviously saw that post, and so I know that they probably wasn't happy. Hell, listen, listen, peeps. I posted this. Hold on, let me blow this up. I'm gonna show you something. This is interesting. I didn't even see this, but I posted this in the group, and it's got 10 likes, way more than that post there. And I got two. Oh, I didn't see these posts here. This was gonna say, is it an electrical pan in the bathroom? But listen, the point that I want to make is that the fear mongering, the playing the playing the victim Olympics, that shit, you can't do that in today's time. It's time for y'all to step up, start being women. If you want to work, cool, work. But then stay out of the dating scene because you're making that shit worse for a lot of men because y'all go out there, get stressed out, come home, bring that stress to us. Then we want to go and that's why a lot of men cheat now. Actually, I don't think there's any difference in men cheating today versus say like 30 years ago. But yeah, I mean, to me, it just seems like to me that there's just women that's been, they just got so hurt that they are resorting now to trying to get away from men, which I would actually wonder why they're even on. Well, this is not really a dating site. It's really just supposed to meet people, but I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, cause me personally, I just think it's just damn. I got 37. Listen, peeps. Let me show you how much this is. You saw that post, right? I want y'all to see this post. This is my setup. This is 6 days ago, peeps. 6 days ago. 8 likes, right? 37 comments. This is more exciting than that post that was posted. Actually, this is a really good setup too. When you think about it. Look at that. That's a nice setup. Now, this right here. Oh my gosh, Pete, don't get me start. Listen, don't get me a house because I want to have a setup just like this. The L table with the super ultra wide monitor. I think he said So he responded. Cause I was thinking he said that one of the no, that was the I don't know. I thought he said that this was like his workstation here. Oh, you can't see my comment. So the one with the time is the workstation, and then the one with the dragon, which he's in the dragons. Oh my gosh. Anyways, is his actual game, and I'm like, shit, that shit would be reversed for me. But I know why he needs a widescreen, because it's basically like having two screens in one, pretty much. But shit, that would be my gaming monitor. And I would just have two more monitors over here. Shoot. But I just wanted you all to show that post. Until women and men decide to want to work as a team, mostly women, ain't nothing gonna change. You women are gonna keep pushing yourselves into unwanted territory to the point where you're gonna be alone on an island, and when shit hits the fan, I don't know what y'all gonna do. Anyways, peeps, I am out of here. I'm out of here. Like yesterday, but yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about this. I mean, I really shouldn't even respond to this, because this was really a waste of time, because I thought it was gonna be something educational, but it wasn't. It's just basically just a roundabout way to promote feminism, because that's really doing y'all some good out there. I mean, y'all so damn happy, and how I know y'all not happy is because you gotta post stuff like this. So, anyways, peeps, y'all let me know. Everybody, let me know what's going on out there in the world. Y'all take care. I am out of here like yesterday. Peace and